Great sunrise, family. Great sunshine. I hope all is well with you as it is with me. And I wanted to talk a little bit, and it's this subject of money, because money is an energy, it's a form of energy. Anything can be anything that's living. So money is living. We, Black people, are living entities. And we were once considered money. We were considered a commodity. We were considered um, beneficial to one's pockets because of our ancestors' skills that they held. Skills that I don't see many of our people out here horning and homing in on, because if we home back in on these skills, the Black community would be the bomb. The Black community would be the bomb. If we gravitated back to the skills that really matter in life. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another video and make a list of these skills that we don't no longer do, that many other groups have taken advantage of because they know that it's the foundation of life to have these skills and power and control as well. Not power control over everyone, but power control over their particular communities. And that is very critical. We have gotten away from that. And this money energy is a destructive energy. It's been destructive in my life. I can admit to that. I also can admit that it is a fuel for me. It's a fuel for many people in this society, period. But first, what is more important to focus on is that what it does to you, what it does to me, because it is not real. It is a dead form of life. Because those trees had to be killed to make that paper, and transform them into another form of life, um, and another whole life form it has taken, but the energy still remains within it. You know, the energy really does still remain within it. So basically, you know, one of the tricks has been to tell us to brainwash us to. So, like I said, there's skills that would put us on top of the economy if many of us, our people, still held them the proper way instead of being under someone else's community, basically working for someone else who holds the ability to have this business, and using your skills, but you are a worker instead of a business owner in this in the field in the various different fields, um, such as home building, which is one important business to be in, building homes. um, if we in our community, the Black community, had a big company that built homes, we wouldn't have a need to really, our people wouldn't be in government community housings or whatever they call it today. It would be that's one of the big things that would pull us from even needing equal um, housing or any of that. You know, I'm hoping that I'm saying this clearly. But it seems like the motivating factor of a person, instead of their purpose being the motivating factor, which is I have a purpose here. I understand that I have a existence, my experience here is to make things right. Many don't live by that. Many live on my experience here is what this people put in front of me, which is this green, getting this green money any way I can. So getting the green money any way I can kind of puts a block on what are you here for? What is your purpose? It's not your purpose is not to just get this green money. It's not just to get that money or what they put before you as the ultimate power for you to go and grab or try to attempt to grab, which they put roadblocks in for you not to be able to grab. When you focus on your purpose driven life, you focus on what can I do for the community that has been downtrodden? What can I do for the community? What can I do for the world? What is it that I can do for the world besides get this money? Money has really been a root, a strong root, a big, huge root that's been, you know, very distracting, very damaging in many ways. Um, because it's been very damaging in many ways because it hasn't allowed for people to really see their purpose, their true purpose. Money can bring emptiness after a while. It can really bring emptiness. It can give you things, yeah. But can it give you that spiritual satisfaction? Can it the satisfaction of, you know, a- achieving your goals, achieving what you are put here for? Because it can leave you after a while with an emptiness, a hollowness, because it continues you in a cycle, because it comes and goes. It comes and goes, just like death. Like we're here, and then the next thing we know, we're not here. A friend is not here. A family member's not here. They're here one day, and then they're gone the next. But your purpose is always going to be there. Your purpose in life will always be there. So that's what fuels you first. That's what should fuel you first, not something that will, you know, just just be just to get the money. That doesn't that's a falsehood. That's a illusion. That is something that is not real for you. That's not authentic for you. And it takes you away from your authenticity. And for example, let me go ahead and share some things. We can't just do anything. We can't just do anything out here because it's just not going to work for your energy. And like I said, from my experience, that's how it's been. So you have to find your purpose. You have to find your purpose and put that forward before money. See, if you have a skill, something that you love doing, that you don't have to, that it's your heart desire and it really enriches your life to do this thing. And money is not put to the forefront of it, then you're going to have everlasting fulfillment where the money, if it's put to the forefront, that's only a temporary thing. It's not going to fulfill you when you're doing something out that is not your purpose in life. So I'm trying to get my thoughts together. I'm so sorry. Oh, you should never go into things thinking, I want to make this money, this amount of money. You should, I think that you should go into things because you really feel connected to that. You feel like it's going to, well, how is it going to benefit your community? Is it going to help the community to be, help the world to be better in some kind of shape or form? Because this thing that people call the devil doesn't want that. This thing called the devil, which is the opposition, doesn't want good for your community. It's going to always go in opposition against your community. Therefore, you have to be for yourself, be for your community. Being for yourself is seeing the purpose that you put here for. Hey, there you go, Ayapa. Yapa. Wow. I've been looking for you, brother. Yeah, I know you did sister's illustration for her book, and I was looking for you for the illustrations of my book. I'm doing more books, but I have someone doing illustration for my book now. Because I couldn't find you. But I mean, oh my goodness, thank you for being here. And please, you know, I know, laughing out loud. I mean, oh goodness. Maybe I can send you some information and you can do the cover. because I think I want to go with a different cover. Um, I just let her do the illustrations. It's going pretty all right, but I think it would have been a plus with you. Okay, put your site and the link for everybody, so others can also know the information. Yeah, brother Yapa is he can do illustrations as well. So you definitely want to hit him up if anyone out there is looking for for an illustrator. So, that's why it's important to soul search. Especially us as Black people, we don't know who we are, what we are, and why we are here. But the world will tell us. The world will tell us. We're money, we're commodity. We got to get out there, and it's a confused world because now we have to get out there and get the money. We have to work. We have to slay. Um, and no thoughts about whatsoever about what's going on within you. No taking in consideration the feminine energy along with the masculine energy, because we each are made of this. So when money comes along, it's just like it just blindsides us to who we are and what we're made of. We're energy, and we've been abused. So, and then our world has been built around us. Okay, you're fine. Yeah. So our um, world has been built up a lie around us. To become wealthy, you have to be making money while you sleep. Well, to make money while you sleep, I would think that you would be taking care of your community. Us working for other communities and being in amongst other communities does nothing for the nature of our people. It allows them to manipulate and run game, and that's what has happened. You know, I have nothing against any other races or any other people, but I do stand and support 100% more for my own community of people because that's my whole existence. See, that's my whole being. Being that we're in a what they call a melting pot, yeah, it breaks down relationships before you even get started. It's been a destructive force for a long time that has grown and developed in this world, period, to become this great force that has caused wars, carnage, and just all kinds of disasters, you know. But, I hope that the children in the future will not have to endure or to know of this world that we are in, but can change into a new world where they are more purpose driven and not the fuel running on the fuel that is not everlasting, that is short lived. Like I said, it destroys relationship. I heard a story in the news of two brothers who shot them. They were in the same car together and they shot each other dead. They shot each other dead. We don't know the reason, but we can speculate because it's getting real out here. It's real out here. And, you know, that's that force. That's that force. Instead of, let's talk about some of the basic skills of life to build our own world back up. That if our men had or would do without being under the control of without being under the control of other communities. Yeah. Yapa says, notice how athletes, artists, and even spiritual advisors are so much better before money gets involved. Then it all starts going sideways. Yes, I admit that, I'm trying to come out of where the money, because money, let's admit, it feels good to us when we get money. It feels good to us when we get money. I can admit that it's a sickness that we all have. I can only speak for me right now, that money has been a fuel, but I have been sick. I've been sick of allowing money to be my fuel. And I think that's part of the spiritual battle that I've undergone, you know. Because when you let you can abuse it. You're not using it the right way. Um you can it's just it's a it's a destructive force. I'm serious. I'm honest. It's just it's not good at all. It's like a drug. It can become a drug after a while. So basically, because I'm a Pisces, and as Pisces put other people before themselves. And I talked a little bit about this. That's my energy. So I talked a little bit about this when I talked about my room space and my husband, the masculine energy, how I put the masculine energy before myself. I could have a nice, beautiful room, but to also, for a while in my life, I wasn't materialistic at all. I felt like material things are here today, gone tomorrow. But my thing has changed about that because your material, so you need material, but you need to have that balance with the material. You need to use the material for what it can do to benefit you, basically. But you don't want too much of the material. You have to have that balance of things. So I wouldn't just go and buy furniture. I just didn't go and buy furniture for a while until I had my children because I wanted for them more so than I wanted for me, you know. So that's the Pisces energy. It's just always concerned, always wanting the things to be right for others, you know. So that can be a good thing, but it needs to it can be a bad thing as well. So you gotta, that energy of doing for others, it's got to be balanced out with doing for yourself as well. Doing for yourself as well. And, you know, the skills we need to get back into woodwork in the Black community. It's very critical. You don't need the white communities to sign off on that. You need your own community to come and support of that. Building furniture, just the basic survival stuff. Building homes, building period. How many Black industries do you know, Yapa, in building furniture, making buildings, building homes? You know, those are things that if we, the Black community, focus on these things more, and for our children coming up to gain back the ancestral skills, then we would really wouldn't want for anything, because along comes other skills that are needed when you're building. Um, you know, that people feel, it's what you can do for the community. That is what should drive you first. And the success in seeing it and how it has influenced the community, the people, is is the currency. It's the currency, and it will come to you. But right now, we're not getting that in the Black community because we done been side how do they say it? We have been bamboozled and to giving our energy to other communities and not putting it in our community with purpose. We lost sight of our purpose, like you said. You know, you can be an athlete, but as an athlete, is your mom and dad only teaching you how to dribble the ball, or is your mom and dad out here showing you how you can help the community that you come from? Are they saying, well, honey, you need this skill, or this skill might be beneficial for you? I've seen you, as you've been growing, and I see that you like this and you're good at this as well. Okay, he said. I think part of the challenge is finding Black owned companies that are also about Black people. Many are Black, but not. Yes, exactly, because of the money. The money is what been put in front, to the forefront, not who you are. And who you are is more important than what this world will ever know. That's why they put it in the Bible. Who are you? And the Bible is it still says the truth. No matter how they twist and turned it, it still says the truth. Who are you? You have to ask yourself that first. Who are they? Who are you and who are they? Who what are you in conjunction of everything? What is going on in the world that you live in? Is it the opposition is winning over you because you do not know who you are? I mean, the Bible is still going to tell you. I don't care. Any of these spiritual books is still going to tell you the facts. The facts is what was buried. And they try to bury the facts, but you can't bury the truth. You can't bury the truth. You can never do that. You know, you can manipulate people with it. And that's what has happened in life. People have been manipulated, but it's all supposed to be purpose driven. Everything. You see, right now, we're in a world that is not purpose driven. The driven the world runs on the money fuel. And that's when I was saying that for that young boy or the young girl athlete to always have a skill to benefit the community, a skill that you found that you're born with, something that you found deep within yourself you're born with. You should have that and put that to the forefront. Once you become successful in the sports world, that way money will be just there on its own, not really affecting you, but it be there. But your skills is also attracting finances, but not in the way that the destructive way. Because there's a destructive way, and then there's that positive, purpose driven way of doing things. And I think Shaq almost had it. Was Shaq the one that opened Shaquille O'Neal, the one that opened up the school, Yappa? But he was in another community. He wasn't in his community. He wasn't in his community, but he had the idea of what I'm saying now. Opening up a school. No, that wasn't Shaquille O'Neal. That was the other basketball player. I can't think of his name, but correct me on if I'm right or wrong. I don't. But I know one of them opened up a school, but the school wasn't in his community. You see, we lose sight of who we are, we lose sight of our community. Yes, yes. And I was running on that money train, see? And I'm telling you, and matter of fact, I would listen to that on the weekends, that money by the OJs, blasting in my car. And, you know, it it doesn't give you it doesn't give you what you need. It gives you the material world, what you need in the material world. But what about your spiritual world? Yeah, LeBron James. Yeah, LeBron James. Thank you. He's the one that opened up that school, but it wasn't in our community. So then we wonder in our lives. I don't know whether he's going through anything, but we wonder in our lives why things are the way they are. It's because our energies. We may be working against our people, but not knowing because we're over here in someone else's community. Our heart and our soul, we done gave over to someone else's community. Our heart and soul is not really in our community where it needs to be, you see. Because if your heart and soul is there, you're going to always have that pushback by the opposition. Even if you're not outward about it, they still going to sense it. They still sense it because you're a threat. It becomes a threat, you know. So, you know, that's what I mean by we have the power. I just really needed to, you have to dig deep. to know what the ultimate power is and how to achieve it and what you need to let go of, you know. Sometimes you might be too much in your counterpart, your opposition. Be it if you're male, you may be too much focused on the feminine needs over your own masculine and feminine needs, which is balance. You don't have no balance because you're so concerned for the feminine, and you're allowing it to overrun your world. There's a young brother that I ran into yesterday, and he told me his story. Um, he told me his story. I don't know if he's going to text me back, but I think we all can learn. I think the men can learn something from this story. And hopefully, I wanted to tell him, you need to be teaching these young brothers, you know, what to look out for, and what not to do, what not to do, you know. Um, a man is supposed to take care of a woman, but to take care of a woman, I think marriage comes first, and I don't think that connection comes first. Definitely that connection comes first. So, but you can't just marry anything, and you can't be with any energies. You have to. This with astrology, zodiac comes in play too. It comes in play big time. We can't just go and find someone on the streets. That energy is all over the place, and you don't know, that connection is not going to probably work. But if somebody off the streets that you connect with, you know, zodiac wise, and zodiac does play a big part because you would share the same kind of energies. She would have to be like the feminine aspect of you, and you the masculine aspect of her, and have that understanding and that willing to work together to build, of course, to build, not ever to tear down, but to always build. So let me tell you this brother's story. He was telling me his typical story. I heard it all before, um, this is what typically goes on in our society when it comes to the masculine and the feminine. Um, I don't think anyone ever said with their last dying breath, I wish I had made more money. No, they don't. Matter of fact, money is obsolete. It's somewhere in oblivion when it comes to that person passing, or they're dying and they're just on their deathbed. They're not even thinking about money. They're thinking about they're going they're they're in their spiritual moments. We don't want to wait to the last minute to be in our spiritual moments. We want to start it early, ahead of time. We want to be that balance, that spiritual and the physical, and know the difference and have that wisdom of what is right for each for what we're experiencing here on earth. What is where that our directions are right for us. I think that's what keeps us. That is what is going to keep you perfect in perfection. Because no one said anything. I know it seems like the flesh, of course, the flesh isn't perfect, but to have that balance is to be in perfection. And I don't think it's anything wrong with striving for perfection or putting yourself, it makes it easier to get there, I think. When you're taking your spiritual with your physical and balancing it out, your right brain, your left brain, your feminine, your feminine, your masculine. And I don't know. Okay. So basically, he had an imbalance. And it's weird how I was telling you guys about my imbalance and I was speaking it into the universe between me and my husband in our bedroom and how it is. And again, I'm Pisces, so I didn't get whether this guy was Pisces or not, but he sounded like Pisces because we always put things before us. So he was telling me about his baby mama drama. Unknown caller. Oh, hold on a second. I'm back. Sorry about that. So he was having baby mama drama. And like I said, I heard it all before. I understand it. It's that imbalance that we have in our society. It's that masculine energy been been ruled and controlled in the wrong way. But the power, the people have the power because the people are the power. So we know that the masculine energy in this society has been pulled the wrong direction, the wrong way. It's been pulled the wrong way. And understanding that we can bring about change. And we know that the masculine energy has been put to the forefront in this society when it should be both king and queen, masculine and feminine energy balanced out. We need our masculine energy overall balanced out. This is how you're going to destroy uh, that's how you're going to destroy everything that has been put forward. to destroy your relationships and destroy you dealing with yourself, is to balance these energies out. So I'm going to tell you his story so you can see what I was saying and why it's the truth. He was very honest with me, very honest. So basically, his relationship started out with him, they're not married. Um but yet he felt like this was the woman for him. And yes, money's involved. Money is put to the forefront of a relationships, you know. So he did this. He created this energy for himself, but the energy that he created for himself, he walked into a he was broken, so he walked into it caused him to walk into a situation that was going to break him even more in that relationship. Because we got to know not everyone is like us, you know. So he told me, he was honest. I used to do this, he used to do that for her, he do everything for her. He was a good man, right? But he didn't know that she wasn't a good woman. He didn't know about her family and that they were very mentally destroyed people that all they know is destruction. They were confused. Their minds are twisted, damaged. He didn't know this, but he too was damaged going into a damaged situation. This is very difficult for me to try to explain. But the main thing part of it is that he was in balance with his masculine and his feminine because his father was halfway there, but only there for his own needs. So he wanted to be a better father. That was his goal, that was his purpose driven in his community for his children. But he did not know that to be a better father, he had to have his masculine feminine balanced. He can't be given all to a female if unless he was balanced first. That means take care of him first. That means make sure you don't get this woman pregnant because you don't know yet, right? But he didn't know that at the time. He wasn't able to see, he wasn't in his spiritual. And the majority of our people are not in their spiritual. They don't know these things. Since if this person is right or wrong for me. No, we're just in the world blind right now because our sight has been taken away from us. So he's been through all kinds of stuff, guns pointed at his face, treated like a damn dog, treated like a dog. Most men are treated like dogs because that's the mentality. We have a um, very masculine society. that was built off of the backs of black, brawny men who were sold on the block, stock block, as for their physique, so that you got that dog and out slaving energy still going on. We still got that going on. And most men have that mentality that it's to be. And I don't it doesn't matter if it's black and white. It's all men. It doesn't matter Asian, whatever men. It's all men. It's like we're in a cult at this point because they co-signed it. It's called Bring Home the Bread and Butter, which there's nothing wrong with that, but it comes with it has to have some respect in there. A certain degree of respect needs to be in there. And it started out with no respect for our people, for our men. No respect was in that. So it was born without respect. This energy is a this masculine energy here in this society has no respect. Yeah, bring home the bacon. Yes. And that's not the energy we should be living in. That's a fairy tale because you shouldn't have to bring home the bacon. You shouldn't. Who's to say you should have to go out and kill an animal, hunt and not a living another living thing down for your food source? That's what we've been fed. That's what we've been fed. So, so he tells me that after all the good things he done for her and her family, they treat him like a dog. They kick him out. They put guns to his face. They talk to his children about him, his girls. And I said, you allowed this energy. You enforced the energy to be alive because what you did was you put more emphasis on the feminine energy more than you did your masculine energy and straightening it out. You know, you got to, you're within yourself, you got to have balance within your feminine and your masculine, especially when it comes to these children, these girls, because they come from a long line of their mothers on their mother's side of destruction, mental destruction, because of the mentality of the feminine energy only. So it's okay to disrespect the men and their families. And the men and their families have to do something, have to do these bad things. But he did say there's one brother that's standoffish from everybody else in the family. And he's a little bit better than everybody else. He's different. He doesn't go around them. Because he knows his family's crazy. He knows they're out of whack. They're not balanced, right? So she's doing all this stuff. She argues, he can't talk, he can't think. And I know. And he says tells me about her mother, and I'm like, yes, that's that bad energy that she done passed down to her. Now you have the opportunity to stop it. You have the opportunity to prevent your daughters from enduring or becoming like that, like their mother. You have the power. You have to balance their world out. And for a man that's paying child support, and he's been slaved out here paying child support, you need to balance that out legally. You can't just be one-sided, "Oh, I'm just paying her child support." But no, you have to really be a father more than money. Being a father more than just money is having time. Time is important. So my suggestion to him was to balance things out legally. And by balancing things out legally, you get joint custody because money should never be put in the forefront. But he tells me, "Oh, well, she's got a $1,700 apartment that she's about to get." I'm like, "Aha! So you're thinking about her again?" Listen, it's not about you or her at this point. At this point, it's about them girls and getting them out of that juju, that bad juju. So these two girls, lovely young girls, will not have to become that of their become be overcome by their environment of imbalance and destruction. So you have to get joint custody so that you can be, you can knock out the baby mama thing. It's up to you men. You men can be more heavily focused on the feminine. Hold on. I'm sorry, y'all, but I'm back, guys. Hey, I'm second one. Welcome. So, if you men putting money to the forefront because the society said that, um, but if you live in your purpose before you even get in relationships or even together, you can build this. Depending, but now he's at the point of child support, right? And like I said, the girls are more important right now. So she can't see the damage she's doing to the girls because she's lived it and it's normal for her. It's the normal way of life. And this is very important for our communities because what broke us down is the break up of the family. And what's going to break this society down, this uncivilization, is the fact that it broke down. It damaged, it destroyed us as a people. So basically, he needs joint custody. You see, my husband and his imaginary culture, I'm just going to say his imaginary culture because as you know he's African, but they have this imaginary culture at times, that somehow uh defies the natural science, which says that the mother takes care of the girls only. And it defies natural science. You cannot, I don't know, that that is another way that's an example of how the masculine has been steered the wrong way because you still if you have any children are masculine and feminine, you need to be in the picture. You need to deal with the girls. You need to take the girls out to the park sometimes. The father, it's very important that they get that from the masculine, from the male, the father, just as well as it's important to get that from the mother. It has to be that balance in everything. It's not just that if I had a son, I would spend time with him all the time. No, because he would need mom just as well as he has the father. It's not like the mother takes care of the girls and the father takes care of the boys. No, there's no such thing as that existing in nature. It does not exist like that. We actually need equally both. This is where the court systems leave it up to you to decide how you want to use your power. Do you want to be so heavy top where the female is bashing you and dogging you out, or do you want to take some kind of control form of expressing your powers and say, joint custody, I won't have it any other way. We need joint custody. I need time with my girls to give them the things they need from the father's perspective, from the father, from the male. And then she needs time as well to rest from the girls. And then she needs time with the girls. The girls need her time as well. Um, this is critical. So I'm hoping that that was beneficial for him, even though he told me that he still is concerned for her paying the bills and he didn't want to infringe upon on that for her. But then you're complaining to me about the imbalance. And as a spiritual guide, all I can tell you is there's an imbalance that you're allowing. That's why things are the way they are. You cannot let a woman just raise your children by herself and expect good results. You can't expect everything to be all right in your world and you throwing money at the woman and you still legally allowing them to do this bad thing to you legally by supporting you in your bad habits of giving her everything. It's got to be a balance. It's your fault if you don't see that you need joint custody and how it would make your life a lot better. And not just your life, but the children's life mainly, mostly. And that's the whole goal of that, is to make the children's life better. To not let them be inundated by nothing but the mother's rhetoric, but to know the father's side as well. That's being a good father. That's being a good man. It's giving your children the balance to see that you're not just the moneymaker. You're not just the dog being slayed. But until we recognize our powers in this place, you know, the same old will happen. And he not only has the power to change his own situation, this brother has the power to teach younger men the right direction to go in when it comes to relationships and what not to do and what to do. And I told him that that's important. So, I don't want to be too long on here, but we put money to the forefront, and money is a man-made uh, destruction. And a lot of things have been man-made destruction. The Bible, for one thing, the Bible has nothing to do with uh, what the way your life should be. Um, but if you dig deep into it and connect spiritually, you can see, you would be able to see those things. Okay, Yapa said fathers must model good fatherhood to their daughters. Exactly. Exactly. And then the mother, whatever the mother says from there, they know that there's something wrong with their mother. They be able to see that their mother is off balance in her criticize criticism of the father, because the father be able to prove himself to the children, and he has nothing to worry about after that. He doesn't have to stress. He doesn't have to argue. He can continue being who he is and breathe and be in control of his part of the world. you know so mothers must model good womanhood to their sons. Exactly. Exactly, Yapa. So when they get older and get in relationships, they know that, yes, they know who they want to be with. Exactly. Unfortunately, this guy, and a lot of our men in our community have been steered the wrong way, you know. And, a lot of women been steered the wrong way. We've been affected, you know. But luckily, me, like I said, I had a stepfather. I didn't have a biological father, but I had a stepfather. And I struggled with that my whole life. I felt like, that's probably part of why I feel down upon myself, is like, why wasn't my biological father there for me? Why am I so different? But then I realized that other people, they had their fathers in their life, but he really wasn't any good majority of the time. Things weren't what I thought. The world wasn't what I thought. Some people had their father and they were living this perfect life, I thought, but it wasn't the truth, you know. Actually, I had a stepfather and I still didn't live a perfect life with him. He tried his best and he did great, I think. I think he did great. It was a battle. It's always a battle in this society, a struggle. And I'm still having my own battles and struggles. in my own household, because now I married a man that has an imaginary culture of, he doesn't have to spend time with the girls. And the girls need that balance. So I get the brunt of everything right now, because I'm still imbalanced. So I guess I am balanced because I give to the feminine energy and I give to the masculine energy more than I take care of myself. But so I'm not balancing myself, basically. I'm giving outside, outward, and I'm not giving that balance to myself inside. I think I just need to transfer that to the inside of me. And that means taking care of me and making sure I have my colors that affect my spiritual balanced out in my room space, that I have the things I want or I need around me, for me, not just taking care of other people, you know. So that helps out. I hope I'm not confusing to anyone, but this is the things of the science of you and me in our world that we need to take consideration of. That's going to help us to live better lives, be better people, because the world doesn't really care. The world out here that was designed doesn't really care. But we have to self-reflect and see that for ourselves. And that's how you're gonna know. That's how you're gonna know. It's your energy. Energy is to be put in consideration for almost everything in life. It is. So I hope that's all. Yeah, Yapa said you can say that again. Yeah. So we know that, this energy, money, fuel is it's really not beneficial to us. Um, we can use it, and that's what it's meant to be, not to be worshipped or to run off of, but to be utilized in some shape or form, but uh not to be used before ourselves, where we go out and harm another individual for the love of money, or damage our relationships with our brothers and our sisters, our family, because of money. Money is, or, okay, so that's my cue. So, with that said, true love, real peace, and the higher self within the soul. Peace and thank you.